G'day everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I just wanted to share a new tank that I've set up just recently. I wanted to set up an African cichlid tank, specifically an Mbuna Cichlid tank, Lake Malawi setup. So I've probably gone with the bare minimum size here, and I actually do plan on upgrading this tank in the new year once these guys grow out a little bit, but I've just got myself the Aqua 182 litre 4-foot tank, yeah, so I've decided to set that up, and gone for a pretty basic decor on it, but yeah, I've gone for the aragonite sand on the bottom. I like the look of it. It's good for the fish to sift through and everything, but the main reason I went with that, apart from being a good contrast against the red scoria rocks that I've got in there, is it's a natural buffer for my pH, so it keeps my pH around the 7.8 to 8 pH range, and I've gone with the red scoria rocks in there for the hidey holes and caves and whatnot, otherwise known as red volcanic rock. And as my background, I went for a fairly budget-friendly 3D background from a company called, what's the name of this background? It's a 3D background from URS backgrounds, and I went with a canyon style background, and just to give it a little bit more sort of life and take some of that barren browny red colour away from it, I went for some Java ferns, just pretty much because they're pretty hard to kill. African cichlids love to destroy plants and rip them up and whatnot, and they pretty much leave the Java ferns alone for the most part. I started off with 3 of these guys. The one you see in the very middle, that was a breakaway leaf that had its own roots and everything on it, and the one on the far right, I've just that one broke away as well, and I've just glued that one to the rock as well. So all these guys are glued to the rocks with your Gorilla super glue gel, and they're doing really well at the moment. Filtration wise, well, this was actually a bit like a setup tank, combo tank that came with hang-on back filter, heater, light, all that kind of stuff. But I knew I was going to use it for African cichlids, so I've still got the filter, but I'm not using it. I upgraded immediately to a Fluval FX6, and that's probably over filtration, but you can never have enough. You know, you can never over-filtrate a African cichlid tank. They're pretty messy fish, and I knew I was going to overstock it to try and mitigate some of the aggression issues you get with African cichlids. So yeah, so it's very well filtrated. I'm running the Aqua 1 200 watt heater that came with the tank. I'll probably, when I go to the 5-foot tank down the road, I'll probably upgrade that heater, and I'll just keep this one as a spare. And on the left hand side of the tank, I've got a wave maker. It's only a very small wave maker, and that's by a company named Hydor. It's a Coralia circulation and wave pump, 900 litres per hour flow rate. So that's what's on the other side there. I also have a digital thermometer on the side, which is, you know, once the battery runs out it gets thrown away, but just to double check that, I've got a your regular mercury style thermometer in there as well, and I have a C-Chem ammonia monitor, which basically just monitors the free ammonia in the tank. This tank's fully cycled now. I did do a fish in tank cycle using C-Chem prime and stability. Took about 23 days to cycle fully just because I had such a large bioload in there. I probably had half of these fish in there at the time. I didn't lose any. It's fully cycled now and everyone's doing well. So ammonia's at 0, nitrite's at 0, and nitrate's probably at about 10 to 20 parts per million at the moment. So yeah, doing weekly water changes. And as I said before, my pH is sitting around the 7.8 to 8. The species I have in the tank, I've got 6 yellow labs. I'm pretty sure 2 of those are males and the other 4 are females, but we'll wait and see as they grow. I've got 4 of your yellow-tail ACIs, 2 rusty cichlids, 2 snow white cichlids. I've got 2 of your red top hongies. They're actually my favourites. You can see one coming out of the rock now and darting back in down the bottom there. I've also got 2 red zebras. They seem to hang out with the yellow labs quite a bit. I don't know if they've got a bit of an identity crisis. I'm not quite sure what they are yet, but yeah, they're cruising around in there. 2 cobalt blues, 1 bumblebee cichlid. I said before I didn't lose any fish. I actually did have 2 bumblebees in here, so with the exception of 1 bumblebee, I really shouldn't have had the 2 in there. They clashed and one killed the other one. Apart from that, I haven't lost any fish. They've all been happy and healthy. I've got quite a bit more rock in there now as well. There wasn't a lot of hidey holes in there when that took place, but I've got quite a bit more in there now. And the only exception to the rule with the Lake Malawi fish is I've got a bristlenose catfish in there as well. So that's my entire stocking list of this tank, and I won't be adding anything else because these guys are going to outgrow this tank pretty quickly, and I'll have to be setting up that 5-foot tank. The 5-foot tank I'm looking at is a 423 litre tank, so it's a foot longer than this one. It's also deeper and wider, yeah, so I'll do an update on this video when these guys have grown a little bit, and I've got them in the 5-foot tank, and see how we go there. I'll change the background as well on that. I'll probably go for a more expensive background, but I'll pretty much keep it as lava rock, Java fern, and the same substrate and everything like that. I do plan on adding a second FX6 once I go to the 5-foot tank, just to give it some extra filtration as well. In the FX6, I'm using the biomedia that came with it, along with some Aqua One bio noodles and some Seachem matrix in there. For chemical filtration, I've got a little bag of Chemi-Pure Blue, and on the top I've got some Fluval Max Clean fine pads as well, just to polish the water a little bit. And the lighting on the tank at the moment is actually the Aqua One light that came with the tank. It doesn't look too bad, but I'm not a real big fan of it because it's either on or it's off. There's no in between. You know, it doesn't ramp up or anything, so the fish don't like it when you first turn it on. They all bolt into the rocks and hide. So I've got another light on the way. I've got the Fluval Plant 3.0. I don't really need the characteristics of a plant light, but I like the look of this light. I could have went with the Fluval Aqua Sky, I guess, but I like the look of this this light and the 24-hour cycle that you can get with it. So it'll basically ramp up in the morning, mimic sunrise, midday, sunset, and then you can have it go into like a night mode where it mimics having moonlight and all that sort of stuff. And it's actually got a Malawi setting on it as well, so it's got a setting that these fish kind of like as well. And you can have it either turn off completely or stay in that night mode right through until sunset again, and it's just on a 24-hour timer. And I've got the Java ferns in there as well. They don't really need a lot of light, but yeah, you know, it'll do what it does. So I'll probably do a review on that when I've spent a bit of time with it as well, but that's coming in the next couple of days, and I'll have that on the tank as well. Apart from that, that's pretty much this tank. So let me know what you think of it, and I'll do a few updates on it, and as the fish grow and as I get them into the 5-foot tank. I've got a few other projects down the track that I'm thinking of doing as well, so I'll share those as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.